There's a lot of things I would have done in high school, but like I feel like I never even took a shit
But
in high
one,
school,
like,
in
I
the
mean-
school, because I feel like I would have get caught. Somebody would have noticed that.
Yeah, well, I think taking a shit is worse than jerking off.
Okay, so hold on, so let's
I think that's more embarrassing
Hold on,
for a high school kid.
So let's just
if
talk
you're
about-
in high school, I think it's more embarrassing to take a shit than jerk off.
which is sort of an indication of where we come from.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Because like why is it that jerking off in the locker room?
It was like,
well, I guess it's not that
It
bad.
was like, oh, it's gross, it smells or something.
Yeah.
Jerking off is like, yeah, jerk off.
I guess.
So, well, two things there. One, like,
welcome to Divorce with Friends, the podcast that reminds you while Lee Stevens was up in Montreal putting up average MLB numbers, his namesake was running around the city dominating it like the Hall of Famer he is. I am Bobby Vito, and joining me as always is my friend, my colleague, my partner, Tom. Tom, how the fuck are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm gonna tell you, one, there were literal cobwebs on this microphone. There was literally a cobweb. You just saw me take it off. And two, I don't know if you've been like podcasting around.
No,
but this is a little high. I feel like maybe there was like a tall gentleman who came in and podcasted with you. I don't know.
Good to see you, by the way.
Yeah,
it's been 2 months, and good to see everybody. No, Tom, I have not been cheating on you.
Okay.
I promise. I cannot afford another divorce in my life. but no. So I've been using this desk, and we'll get to a little bit of why. But I've been using this desk as actually a workstation,
Ooh.
and it was lower, so like where I would have to like kind of crouch when I was on my calls.
Yeah.
But like where I normally have it is in my room, and I had to like make sure it didn't look like a bedroom.
Got it.
Because my room looks like a bedroom.
Yeah,
because it's a bedroom. But Tom, welcome to episode fucking 18. It's taken 2 months to say that.
Yeah,
do you feel good right now?
We got a lot going on. I feel really good. Yeah, I feel really good.
I kind of felt this was like our first time all over again.
Yeah.
Getting ready, getting excited, getting the camera.
Yeah.
It was
gay sex.
Gay sex. I've been boning up on that.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But Tom, what's been going on the last 2 months?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I got people love. There's one saga that people like. It's my sleep routine updates.
Yeah,
right?
what's up with the
people
hostage
stop me
state?
on the street and they're like, "Oh, we don't really like those raw voicemails, but your sleep stories are really good.
Love them."
So so for people who just started listening within the last like 5 months, I use hostage tape, right? I'm using breathe right. I'm just like always tired, right? I'm always tired. So I'm one of these guys who's like doesn't go to the doctor. Right?
Who needs them?
Yeah, like cliche, like middle age, like I don't want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So my wife is like, you gotta go to the doctor this year, right? So I'm like, all right. So I go to the doctor. I get like this sort of like sitcom character doctor.
Yeah.
Right. Dr. Tong. And
Sounds
Dr.
made up.
Tong is a small Asian woman who loves giving me the business, right? That's like her favorite thing is giving me the business. We've only had like one meeting, but she loves giving me the business.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this and we might get canceled, but she has like a thick accent.
Are you
She's
going
an
to do
Asian
it?
woman.
Are you going to
Small
do it?
Asian woman. I'm going to do the accent.
Oh boy.
Because you need it, I think. So, cancel me, whatever. But so she says, so she's like reading the chart and asking me questions, right? And she's like, whoa, you're obese. Just like that. That's exact, right? And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, no, I know. She's like, oh, your weight is very high, very high.
Got you the first time, Dr.
Yeah,
Tom.
I'm like, no, I'm familiar with my weight. Thank you. I understand how it is relative to the population. And she's like, oh, you're in pretty good shape for weight so high. And I'm just like, no, yeah, the weight's high. I got it. So, so she goes through all the things. And one of the things that they ask, right, is like, oh, are you like fatigued, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, all right, we're going to send you to the sleep doctor. So I go to the sleep doctor.
Okay.
So the sleep doctor asked me the question. She's like, oh, you might have sleep apnea. We're going to do a test. Okay. So the test, they send you home with this equipment. Okay. So
what's it called, a CPAP?
No, that's not that comes later. First is the test to see if you have sleep apnea. And it's almost like you're playing laser tag. There's like this plastic thing across your chest and it goes around and you have to sleep with it. And it tells you like, so do you know what sleep apnea is like mechanically?
Okay. So what I think it is that there's something in your airway that blocks your breath while you sleep.
Yes.
So it sounds like a snore, and if it's mild, I guess, but it wakes you up. So ultimately, your brain's not getting oxygen.
So yeah. So basically, what it is and it's usually because you're fat, right? Like if we're being honest,
Sure.
Mostly fat people. So it's usually you're so fat that like you can't really breathe at night.
Yeah.
Right. So like you said, you're not able to get enough oxygen, so you wake up, right? Because you've stopped breathing essentially.
Do you? Now I don't have apnea, but I have had like the like I didn't realize I wasn't breathing like every now and
So
then.
a lot of
Mainly when I'm
people-
like fucking hungover. As
So
shit.
yeah, so that happens. So these are what they call it is like an event, right? So like if you have an event where you're not able to get air and you kind of wake yourself up,
Yeah.
and it doesn't always feel like you're waking up, but your body kind of wakes up. You don't always really like know it, right? So there's a certain number of events that are kind of acceptable and you don't have sleep apnea, right? So if you have 0 to 15 events per hour, then you don't really have sleep apnea, right?
That seems like it would be a very a huge disruption to your sleep if that's happening 15 times.
Hang in there, Bobby.
Okay.
Okay. 15 to 30, you have moderate sleep apnea,
Okay.
right? Now, given all this buildup, 30 plus is severe. So obviously I probably have more than 30 given the ramp up I've given you here. How many do you think how many times per hour does my body go, you're too fat, we can't get enough oxygen, wake up?
I'm gonna say, based on what you said, I'm gonna say 70 times, so more than 1 per minute.
100 times an hour.
So that's like every 30.
So like every
seconds?
30 seconds, the lady literally read it and was like, so you're almost like not sleeping.
Yeah.
So obviously, because again, right, like I'm a mediocre white guy, I walk out of there and I'm like, I'm a fucking hero.
You are
Right? I've been like going to work and taking care of my kid, and I don't even sleep. I'm not even sleeping. I thought I was sleeping, but I'm not even sleeping.
doing a podcast.
I'm waking up like, yeah, every 30 seconds. Brilliant, charming. Like, imagine how fucking brilliant and charming I'd be. So they give you, so she's like, okay, the solve for this is we give you a CPAP. You're too fat and disgusting
Yeah.
to be able to breathe on your own.
Well, fuck Dr.
So
Tom,
this
yeah.
machine will do it. Right. So they give you this machine. The CPAP is the most humiliating thing. It's like this little machine,
Yeah.
and it's got a huge tube, and the tube is hooked to like another thing that you stick up your nose.
Okay.
There's like a mask one, but that's not good for beards. So they give me the nose one. So you
Yeah.
stick
Beard
it up
stand.
your nose.
Beard stand.
You look like an elephant who has cancer,
Oh,
right?
no.
There's like this tube coming out of your nose and everything's like tubed up and the thing's on your head. And then they give you an app to be like, hey, let's see how many incidents per hour you have now. You know what I mean? So you're looking at the app and you're just trying to and it's super uncomfortable. So it sucks. But the good news is my incidents per hour are like under 5 now.
That's amazing. How's the sex life as a result of it?
Yeah, just it's so much more of it. Yeah, people
Wow.
actually.
Wow.
Yeah. That's actually like, I send pictures out. People come, like, you know what I mean? Like a dating app. Actually, that's a good idea for dating apps.
Yeah.
Show your CPAP. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, that's very unexpected. Breaking news here on Divorce with Friends. Sex up with the CPAP.
Up sex. Well, you have more energy. You know
I
what
feel like
You
I
got
should
more-
get a CPAP machine.
You
just
got more
as a result
air.
of it.
Yeah, you're like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can really get it going once you have all that oxygen. You know what
Well, I think you look great.
Thank you.
We won't get into specifically where I've been yet. We will.
Yeah.
We will. Because if you saw a little teaser, right, we had the butler spilling the tea and dumping the tea on
Ooh,
those,
that's right.
on those
Yeah.
uppity bitches and walking away. We're going to spill a little bit of tea.
Okay.
But and you'll notice too, Tom, I don't have a chalk line jacket on tonight. We moved away from jacket season.
Ooh,
We're now in hoodie season, at least for now. So this is again a chalk line. This is the WrestleFest, selection screen. Even though there's way more at WrestleFest. And WrestleFest, as you can see from the video game behind
gets
us,
you like part of the advertisement for that is it gets you as much ass as a CPAP machine.
probably,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit less. But do you remember all these guys on here? So we got Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
Mr.
I
Perfect.
remember him. He
Jake
was
Roberts.
gave a big political speech.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually there was a classic like red and gold Hulk Hogan chalk line jacket, and I was like, I should get it because it kind of looks like the Ultimate Warrior one. But I was like, he's maybe a racist. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know
This
what
is
to
gonna
do.
be a political statement.
Yeah, so I didn't do that. So we're going to get into where I was in a little bit. But where you can find Tom and I, you can email us at divorcewithfriends@gmail.com. You can go to Instagram, Divorce with Friends, and Twitter at DivorceWFPod. Again, for the 100th time, we don't actually do shit in Twitter. We just keep it there. There is a TikTok. I think it's at Divorce with Friends. I haven't uploaded there in a while because fuck them kids. I don't understand it. I've tried, and that's where I am. But let's get into some listener feedback, Tom, because the listener feedback in the emails, even though we've been off for 2 months in episode 17, and now we're at episode 18, we did get a bunch of emails. And I feel bad because some of them are about the Olympics, some of them are about Valentine. I know. So
You had a whole Olympic take. Now it's like totally.
Yeah, now it's like a little passe.
Yeah,
but
the bring it back in 4 years. Hey, stay tuned for the Olympic take. 4 years from now,
that's true.
You're gonna find out. This is a tease.
Well, luckily though, we did get an Olympic email, so we'll incorporate all.
Okay, all right. We're gonna.
Okay, so I'm going to take the first one, Tom, and you can go to number 2. So
Okay.
the first one's actually a correction.
Yeah.
And this is from our friend Kevin the merch guy.
Okay.
And Kevin called out the fact that I made a comment in episode 17 about taking a pill in Ibiza, and I was like, I Charlie Pluthed it.
Oh.
I knew as soon as I said that, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And someone's going to be like, hey, fuckhead, it wasn't Charlie Pluth. It was Mike Posner. So I took a pill in Ibiza. It was Mike Posner. So Kevin, thank you for the correction. Obviously,
Yeah,
we love corrections.
Yeah.
And the fact that we haven't been on in 2 months and you actually wrote it like the week afterwards, and you were like, when are you going to talk about this? I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's not like we actually canceled
I don't care about the rest
podcast.
of the podcast, but could you come back and issue this correction?
Because I think what actually happened, Tom, is like I was so afraid to make this correction.
Yeah.
I just delayed everything for 2 months. So that's
that's
where we were
when you were wrong, right?
Yeah.
Common cause of divorce.
Exactly. So the next one actually is from, I believe, Sarah. And Sarah writes in, fuck the Olympics. So Tom, this is a really long one. So I'm going to give it to you.
Okay. Hang on. We're rusty. This is rust.
Because you know my Olympic take.
Yeah. Well, and you told me to be ready to read this and I was not ready. Dear Bobby and Tom, I'm writing because I believe my husband is running an elaborate psychological experiment on me, and I would like to know if I'm the subject or just collateral damage. My husband hates sports, hates them. If a football game comes on, he sighs, like someone just suggested we watch a documentary about drywall. Baseball, too slow. Basketball, just tall men politely handing each other the ball. Okay. Yeah. Golf, he once referred to it as lawn maintenance with applause. For
not
years,
a golf guy, so
he has taken a principled stand against sports culture. When my friends' husbands scream at the TV during the playoffs, mine stands in the kitchen explaining that sports fandom is just, quote, tribal pageantry for people who peaked in high school.
Before you go any further,
sounds like a lot of fun.
This guy is kind of a bitch.
Yeah, he sounds like a lot of fun.
Your fucking husband sounds like a bitch.
Does he have like a tweed? Seems like he has like a tweed jacket.
Sarah, we might have another take, but Tom, continue.
Fine, I accepted this. We built a peaceful, sports-free home. Sundays were for brunch, reading, and pretending we were intellectually superior to everyone wearing a jersey. Then, every 4 years, the Olympics happen. Suddenly, this man becomes the world's most passionate sports fan. Not casual interest, not, oh, cool, gymnastics is on. No, he turns into an NBC executive. He insists we must watch everything. Babe, the women's luge qualifiers start in 4 minutes. I didn't even know there were luge qualifiers. That is, when I asked if we could maybe watch a show instead, he said, and I quote, "Come on, this only happens once every 4 years. It's history."
Dildo.
Oh boy. Yesterday you told me baseball was, quote, just dudes standing around waiting for something to happen, end quote. And now you're explaining the strategic brilliance of competitive curling. Also, I'd like to note that about 55% of Americans say they plan to watch the Olympics, which suggests millions of other households are dealing with the same sudden Olympic enthusiasm outbreaks like mine. The worst part is that he insists we watch it together. Meanwhile, this is the same man who once left the room during the Super Bowl because the game had, quote, too many timeouts. Well, that's
very true.
So my question is this. Is it fair for someone to reject sports as a concept for 1,456 consecutive days, she did the math on that, and then demand full Olympic co-viewing participation like we're the official NBC primetime audience? Or should I simply accept that I married a man who hates sports but loves internationally sanctioned athletic pageantry with flags? Please advise before the next can't miss event starts. Sincerely, confused but apparently watching curling, aka Sarah.
So,
wild.
After hearing this email, I saw this email and it was very long. But after hearing it read, I think my initial take is this guy is a giant white flag. He's a total total dipshit. And I kind of get behind like not, for everybody who's I love baseball, as you know, but for everybody who's like baseball's really slow. If you actually watch the game versus like a football game, it's actually not any slower, right? Like
but you can say that about like people who love soccer, say that about soccer. Everybody who loves the thing says that about the thing that they love.
Oh, but I just say
they
like
get it.
It's no more. I think football is no more fast than people say baseball is slow. Like you think of football game, it's like that 5 seconds of excitement, and
there's like 10 minutes of play in a football game. Right?
Exactly, that's what I mean. And like everyone's like, oh, it's so fast. Like I get that, but even the Olympics email, my take earlier that we talked about. That you mentioned was with Toronto Rob. So I mentioned, I was watching Peacock or something, and it was about the Olympics coming on, and I was like, "Fuck the Olympics! I can't stand this shit. I don't know who any of these people are. I can't pretend to care about them. It's not like the days when we were growing up, and you'd get like Oksana Bayul on a fucking Wheaties box, or you knew who Nancy Kerrigan was because her knee get bashed in by that chick who was making pornos.
Yeah.
But like those were the Olympics that like you cared about. Greg Louganis has fucking AIDS and he jumps off the fucking diving board. He bashes his head.
Yeah,
Now everyone in the pools get AIDS. Magic Johnson's get AIDS.
Right.
Back when the Olympics had pageantry, Tom. back when it was you were going to get AIDS.
Yeah.
You participated, you were going to get AIDS. That's when it was great. Now it's like, remember with this season, I know that Conti loved this, but when Michael Phelps won like 1,000 gold medals.
He wins like every race.
But he's a good swimmer. He's probably the best swimmer on the planet. So he wins every single swimming competition. I'm like, this is so stupid. Also, too, like, remember how famous he got? He became like he hosted SNL, and he looked like he wanted to be anywhere in the world except on SNL.
Yeah.
He just was such an uncomfortable person. They were like, but no, you're the gold winning athlete. You got to be in front of everybody. And he's just like he actually made Elon Musk look personable when he was on SNL. But like, I don't know. This guy, Sarah's husband, seems like a fucking dipshit because the sport he can get behind is the Olympics. What do you think?
So, I'm kind of torn because like I get the Olympics. I actually get the appeal of the Olympics. I'm not a huge Olympics person.
Spoken like a man with sleep apnea.
Yeah, that's true. This is sleep apnea tiger. I use that as an excuse for a lot of stuff now. But I understand the appeal of I don't watch a ton of Olympics usually, but I understand the appeal. I do think it's like kind of a cool like bit of drama that these people are training. This is the pinnacle of the thing that they want to do, and they're training all year round for 4 years to do this thing. And then you have the drama of like, did it work or not? Right? Like, I think that's super interesting. And like, usually they do like a pretty good job of like, you know, the vignettes and they're describing the person. But I do think that the people who are like super into the Olympics, it's a little bit like, oh, I love the Oscars or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And actually football. So here would be the two analogies. The Olympics are like the Oscars, right? It's like the people who are into it need you to know how into it they are. Yeah. They need you to know how much they know about like figure skating all of a sudden. And you're just like, most of you are not even watching movies most of the year, right? But now all of a sudden you have this amazing take about like, because you saw 2 of the 5 finalists or something, right?
Yeah.
So the second thing is, I think football, my take on football, so football is like the action movie of sports.
Yeah, I can buy that.
It's just like The Departed, right? It's like kind of for like
people who like Scorsese movies,
people who don't really like really good movies but want to say that they do because it's like an action movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like a dumb person who's like, yeah, I like prestige movies.
It sounds like Toronto Robbie.
Yeah, that's Toronto Robbie.
Yeah.
So right, but and the Olympics are kind of like the Oscars.
I can get behind that. Yeah. Either way, so Sarah, I think you're probably safe at least till the Summer Olympics. So you get 2 years. They used to do it every 4 years, and there'd be summer and winter. So basically, for the whole 4th year, you were just fucked. But now they break it up. So like the Summer Olympics will be in 2028.
I think I like it better every 4 years because it's more
get it
precious.
Yeah. I kind of actually, out of all the things with the Olympics, I guess I like that. But either way, so I'll take the next one. So the next one is called Gilmore Girls.
Ooh.
Is actually, okay, did you do the Gilmore Girls?
I like the Gilmore Girls.
Well, I didn't get any of these references, so maybe you can help me.
Oh, nice.
All right. I'm dealing with a situation that has put my entire identity as a man at risk.
Nice.
My wife has decided we are rewatching Gilmore Girls. Now, before you respond with the obvious advice, just say no, which apparently doesn't know Tom. You should understand something. In our household, Gilmore Girls is not a show. It's a seasonal migration pattern. Every fall, like clockwork, leaves change, the pumpkin spice appears, and suddenly L'Oreal, is that her name? Lori Lynn?
Lorelai.
Fucking shit.
Lorelai.
And suddenly Lorelai and Rory are back in our living rooms talking 900 miles per hour. So a few weeks ago, my wife says, I'm starting Gilmore Girls again. You can watch it with me if you want. This is the trap. Every husband knows this is not a real option. If you want means, will you sit with me here and participate in Stars Hollow? Is that where they live? Jesus Christ. But here's the problem.
It's a quaint small town.
It sounds very
There's a lot of wacky characters.
Yeah, participate in Stars Hollow. But here's the problem. I liked it the first time. There, I said
see?
Not publicly, of course. Outwardly, I maintain the proper husband posture. Mild confusion, occasional eye rolls, and comments like, wow, these people drink a lot of coffee. Was there a lot of coffee in that show?
Yeah, there's a lot of. Well, they talk very fast. There's a lot of kind of like West Wing-ish, like with the fast, quick dialogue.
Okay, I get that. But internally, I was invested. I have so many options, strong ones. I know exactly which boyfriend Rory should have picked. I have thoughts like Luke and Lorelai's communication issues. I think Kirk is a wildly underrated character actor trapped in a small town fever dream. The point is, I can't let my wife know this. If she discovers I actually enjoy the show, I will never escape it. We won't just rewatch it occasionally. It will become a core pillar of our marriage. Date night, Gilmore Girls. Snow day, Gilmore Girls. Family is visiting, let's show them the dance marathon episode. Right now, I maintain plausible deniability. I sit there pretending to be confused on the fast dialogue while secretly appreciating the jokes. I occasionally utter things like, that town meeting seems very unrealistic, even though I'm fully emotionally invested in Taylor's zoning disputes. The real danger is I sometimes slip. Last night, my wife said, oh, this is the episode where Jesse shows up. Without thinking, I said, yeah, but this is before his character arc really develops. She slowly turned her head and looked at me like I'd just spoken a new love language. So my question is this. Should I keep pretending I'm reluctantly enduring the Gilmore Girls for our marriage's sake? Or should I admit that I'm secretly enjoying it and risk the rest of our life in a household where the Stars Hollow runs on a permanent loop? Please answer quickly. We're approaching season 3, and that's when things really get good. Sincerely, Warren. P.S. Logan was the worst. I don't get that reference.
That's one of the boyfriends. So there's Jesse, Dean. Actually, Warren, if you want to do... Actually, I don't want to do it with Warren. I'll get into why. But like, if somebody wants to do a Gilmore Girls podcast, I'd be happy to. I love Gilmore Girls. So I unabashedly... I started watching Gilmore Girls because my wife loves Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And honestly, like, that's a target demo now, too, because I think that probably... Obviously, I'm a dude, so I can't say this conclusively, but my wife and probably a lot of women love the so the mother-daughter relationship is like their best friend, you know, whatever. There's a lot of strife and things, but they're like best friends and they get along really well and they have like a special relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like, right, if you're a mom, that's like a really cool. But anyway, so a couple things. One, I don't know what Warren's deal is that he like can't admit he does like Gilmore Girls. That's like a red flag for Warren, right? One.
Oh, you mean the guy? Yeah, the guy who wrote the email.
Yeah, the guy who wrote the email.
Totally.
That's Warren, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a red flag. 2, like this is such an easy. Like, listen, life is hard, right? Every day is hard for people. It's hard to live with another person, right?
It's difficult, Tom.
It's hard to communicate.
Yeah.
It's hard to connect every day, right?
I have a hard time.
Yeah, everyone does. Everyone does. Like when you have an easy win, like this is an easy win for you, Warren, right? Just be like, hey, Gilmore Girls is great. Do you want to watch Gilmore Girls? Now you have a thing that like you could talk about. You're giving this to her. She's happier with like watching Gilmore Girls. You're happy with watching Gilmore Girls. You have a point of connection.
Yeah.
You're both excited to do it. Like just
actually, Tom, that's a really good take. I won't even shit on that.
Coward.
But you know what? You don't maybe want to read this email.
Yeah.
Was that maybe a month ago, Toronto Rob was saying how the Greek made him watch Dawson's Creek.
Yeah,
and he's like, I liked it.
You loved it.
So my instant reaction was, you fucking pussy. Dawson's Creek sucks. So I'm gonna try it. So I try it. So I'm up to season 2, episode 2.
See?
I gotta tell you, Tom, it fucking sucks. It still sucks. And
really?
Let me tell you why.
How'd you get to season 2 then?
Because I'm okay. You know me. Okay.
The whole audience is like,
I will tell you. So, Tom, I don't know if you know this story, but this is a true story.
Are you doing a little Warren action
No.
here? Are you Warren? Is Warren you?
I'm gonna get to what happened. All right, but I'm gonna get to my Dawson's Creek take. But let me tell you about who I am as a person, just so you know the levels I will go to spite. Okay, it was Columbus Day of 2002, and my high school girlfriend.
You're like deep thing.
I know. Fucking Columbus Day.
You don't have sleep apnea.
No, I get something else wrong with me, like a tumor pushing on the amygdala. But anyway, so Columbus Day 2002, I'm at Bennigan's on Route 9 with my high school girlfriend. Now we're in college.
Yeah.
And she comments that I drink a lot of Coke, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I'll never drink a Coke again. And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. And let me tell you something, Tom. To this day, so 24 years later, I have not had a soda. Now, I have energy drinks and things like that, but I've not actually had a can of soda, a Sprite, a Coke, a Pepsi, whatever, not Mountain Dew, for 24 years.
That's great.
Okay? And I know that this girl never will ever think about this story ever again. Yet in my mind, every time I turn down a soda, I'm like, fuck you. I won't fucking do it. I won't do it. So when people are like, oh, you should give it a try, I'm going to try it. So I'm going to do the whole thing. So here's my initial take on season 1 anyway, because I'm a little bit into season 2.
Yeah.
So Dawson is a whiny bitch. Like I thought going into it, he was like the strong kind of masculine character. And his whole point about season 1 is like, he wants to sleep with a virgin, mainly because he's afraid of how bad he'll be if he's not. Yeah. But in reality, it's about this idea of like pureness and purity and all this stuff. Meanwhile, his mom is fucking Bob, her co-host, and like the cuck dad is like home, like telling everybody about their first kiss, right? So that's I'm like, that fucking this guy's got some goddamn issues, right? Okay. Then you get Joey, who like is in love with Dawson but doesn't want to say anything. But as soon as Jen comes over, right? Jen's the trouble girl from New York.
Michelle Phillips.
Michelle Phillips. She's a sexy girl. A sexy girl.
It's Halloween. She took over for Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, she did?
In the Halloween franchise.
I didn't even know that.
Whatever. She was the heroine.
Oh yeah. So he's like in love with her, but now Joey is like incredibly mean to Jen, like verbally abusive to Jen, and then every 3 seconds Jen's trying to like win her over, but she's some sort of like badass from New York, so I don't really fucking get that. And then Pacey. He speaks like a fucking jerk off. Like, you think Dawson speaks like a jerk off? Pacey speaks like a fucking big jerk off. And he doesn't, and this is just the actor I'm saying about this.
Yeah.
He doesn't move his mouth when he talks. He's very much going to talk like this when and like he doesn't fucking say anything. And like him and Dawson are supposed to be best friends.
Yeah.
But they don't act like they're best friends. They say they're best friends. And I'm sure there's going to be a character arc that I'm going to get into eventually. But like when Dawson starts dating Jen, okay, there was a scene where Jen and Pacey are laughing about something in the hallway, and Dawson comes over like a schmuck. He's like, "What are you guys laughing at?" And they're like, "Oh, nothing. It wasn't anything." And it turns out like Dawson was a big fatso a couple years ago before he hit puberty, and they called him Oompa Loompa. And Pacey was telling Jen about this, and they laugh about it. So the next scene, they're competing over basketball, but in gym. They're fucking playing one-on-one in gym because the cheerleaders are over there.
So many actors are terrible basketball players that you could tell.
Joshua Jackson actually looked okay. He looked like he knew what he was doing. But then they get in a fight. Dawson fucking hums the basketball at his face, breaks his fucking nose. Yeah. So he gets detention. Yeah. But then they go to detention.
That's it.
And everybody's in, I know, right? Everybody's in detention, even Pacey. And they don't find out why he's in detention. Do you know why? They find out why. Do you know what the story arc was?
Oh, what did
this would have ruined your this would have ruined your life if this actually happened.
Oh, what
so after Dawson fucking
shit his pants?
That would be better.
Yeah.
After Dawson breaks his fucking face with the basketball, the cheerleaders come over to like help him.
Yeah.
And he's like feeling like really energized because these women are showing him attention. And this is what he's telling them. So I'm not guessing what the character did. He's like, yeah, then I was feeling really good. I go into the locker room and I relieve myself. And the coach fucking catches him beaten off. And that's why he's fucking in detention.
What?
Dude, that's like it's like a whole Breakfast Club's episode. But that's like a whole fucking episode. So I'm watching the show and I'm like, I think Toronto Rob was just trying to get laid. That's why he was watching the show. Because maybe at the time when it was on, I would have thought I related to these bozos.
Okay. So I have two things. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's it.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I have two things. One, I don't think that's true because Toronto Rob liked the OC. Remember the show, The OC?
Great theme song.
Yeah, he was super into that. So I think he just likes these kinds of shows. He's a dramatic person.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I haven't really seen much Dawson's Creek. I didn't mind the OC. I don't mind those shows. I think they're just like funny to make fun of, kind of, you know.
Well, the one thing
they're fun to watch.
The OC was on Fox, so by definition, it had to be edgier because Fox was sort of.
It was pretty edgy. The OC was one that like they burned through. So that was one of these that where like it was before Prestige. Like if the OC came out now, like they did that. What was the OC? There was one that was like the OC.
90210.
Yeah, my daughter watched it. It was everybody's yelling it at the thing.
Oh, Everybody Loves Raymond.
No. That's the one. That's the one. You got it. I don't what's the fucking it's a place that people go for the beach. I don't know. I have sleep apnea. Anyway, but like they did, you know, they had one and it was like on whatever, Netflix or something, and they do 10 episodes and then they take a break. The OC was like in the era when you had to do like 26 episodes as a cable show. So they burned through all the plot, right? Like the kid came, it was a cool idea, but like they just burned through the plot. I think Bill Simmons has talked about this, where it's like they burned through like everything that could happen to all these kids in like a season and a half. And then it was like, all right, what else do we do? But so two things. One, like I think it's totally fine to watch those shows. I love Gilmore Girls is different, but I love Gilmore Girls. You should like whatever you like.
You can like what you like.
Flag.
Warren needs to admit it, but yeah.
The thing that you touched on that I think is interesting is the idea that like, and I find this like, I find it kind of weird to watch shows about high school kids now.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's kind of like, right, like you said, like I think if you watched it at the time, you kind of relate to it. And I don't mind
not beating up in the locker room though. Like that would have been like
you don't relate to that? You wouldn't have done that?
Would you jerked off in the locker room?
I didn't, but like I don't know, I might have.
There's a lot of things I would have done in high school, but like I feel like I never even took a shit
But
in high
one,
school,
like,
in
I
the
mean-
school, because I feel like I would have get caught. Somebody would have noticed that.
Yeah, well,
stall.
I think taking a shit is worse than jerking off.
Well, okay, so hold on, so let's
I think
just-
that's more embarrassing
hold on,
for a
hold on.
high school kid.
So let's just
If
talk
you're in
about,
high school, I think it's more embarrassing to take a shit than jerk off.
which is sort of an indication of where we come from.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Because like
That's
why
true.
why is
That's
it
true.
that jerking off in the locker room?
He was like,
well,
well,
I guess it's
taking a
not
shit,
that
it
bad.
was like, oh, you're gross. It's gross. It smells or something.
Yeah.
Jerking off is like, yeah, I jerk off.
I guess.
So, well, two things there. One, like, how do you get caught? Like, what are you doing in the middle of the fucking locker? Like, go in a stall. My
Yeah,
God.
the gym teacher caught him apparently. I
Well,
don't know.
two, like, I'm asking questions about fucking, this Penn State defensive coordinator gym teacher that they
I
have.
know.
Do you know what I mean?
I guess.
Like, why is that guy finding this?
Well, it's a good
Like,
thing.
why is he punished? Not very sex positive to be like, you get detention. For
Well, I guess in the
off.
canon, this guy was not a Penn State employee because he turned him in. If he
Yeah.
wasn't, if he was a Penn State employee, he probably would have been like, "Why don't you come back tomorrow?
got-
We'll run this play again, kid."
I would have a lot of questions if I were the AD. I'll say that. Okay. I'll say that. But the thing that I thought was interesting too, like, so I wanted to ask you this actually. So my kids asked me this recently, where like they were like, do you think of yourself as old?
I don't, but
Do you know what I'm
should.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and I thought that was an interesting because I don't really think about how I think about myself.
Yeah.
But I do, like, sometimes it'll almost like occur to me like, oh, I'm 42.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm almost processing the world like I'm 20. Do you know what I mean?
I totally relate to that because like I'll be 44 at the end of the month, and sometimes I get to the point I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? And then when I talk to people who I work with, like I was just in San Francisco for a conference,
Yeah.
and like there's people on my team or people that I talk to that are in like their late 20s or,
Yeah,
or even
yeah, yeah.
10 years younger.
Yeah,
than me.
yeah.
I'm like, I can hang with you. Meanwhile, I cannot.
Right. But, or you have like a split set where you see somebody do something in like a coffee shop or something, and you're like, oh, that's a fellow young person. Then you're like, oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
That person's totally different age than me. And they're looking at me like, that old fuck.
No
Like,
shit.
right?
Like, yeah.
Anyway.
No, absolutely. So,
interesting.
so that's my take on Dawson's Creek. So
Yeah.
I think with Warren, if he likes Gilmore Girls, Emma/Lindsay did say I need to watch Gilmore Girls. So she might help you on that podcast because she's a huge fan.
Oh my God. That would do the most numbers ever.
She's into it because I guess they're from, I'm going to do air quotes, from Connecticut.
Yeah. It's a Connecticut. The Stars Hollow.
Stars Hollow.
I know a lot about Gilmore Girls. I didn't realize I knew this much.
You know a lot.
Stars Hollow. I know all boyfriends, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I said, Dean. So Dean, everybody loves. Dean's a great first boyfriend.
Okay.
Jesse's a bad boy.
Bad boy. Okay.
Jesse's also the son of Lorelai's love interest, Luke.
Okay.
So, or no, sorry, not son, nephew. Like bad boy nephew comes to live with him, right? Like a lot of tension because he's bad for Rory, but
But in reality, he's good for her.
he kind of
He's
like
good for that pussy.
not really.
He's
But
good for-
and then like Logan, some other stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Stars Hollow, small town, quirky town in Connecticut, but made up town.
Awesome. Well, that was Gilmore Girls talk with Tom and Bobby.
Yeah.
So Tom, why don't you take email 4? This one's called
Okay.
Whose Pussy Is This?
Right up my alley. I use that subject line a lot. All right. Hi, guys. My girlfriend came home yesterday and announced very casually, I have a surprise. Now, in my experience, surprises in relationships are things like cupcakes or maybe concert tickets.
I like that.
That's a great surprise. That's not really my experience. Not a living animal with opinions. She walked in holding a cat. Oh, jeez.
I know.
Like it had always been part of the plan. Apparently, this creature needed a home. Interesting, because I also need things. Yet no one has ever surprised me with a new boat. I would like to note that I have been extremely clear about one thing since the beginning of our relationship. I do not like cats. Cats don't like me either, which frankly I respect. It felt like a mutual agreement, but this cat immediately jumped onto my chair, stared directly into my soul, and knocked a glass off the table. My girlfriend called this, quote, curious, end quote. She also informed me the cat's name is Oliver. Not the cat, not temporary guest, Oliver. Like he pays taxes here. My girlfriend says I'll warm up to him. Meanwhile, Oliver watches me like he's conducting a long-term psychological study. My question is simple. When someone brings home a cat without discussion, is the proper response acceptance, or should I start bringing home random animals until we reach some sort of balance? Sincerely, Jeff on Instagram.
So I got this note yesterday, and I was like, we're obviously going to throw it in, but I had a visceral reaction to this
Yeah.
because I fucking hate cats,
Okay.
and I will not date a woman who likes cats.
Wow.
Well, I won't do it. I won't
Oh,
do it.
That's one of your screening questions?
Yep. Do you like cats? They're like, I like cats. Get the fuck up.
Sorry.
Get up. We're not even, no
Next.
deserve for you.
Yeah.
I don't do cats. And the reason I don't like cats is I don't trust them. I think they're
Okay.
sneaky. I saw a movie once. I forget what movie it
Ooh.
was. And the cat put its paw over the girl's mouth while she was sleeping and tried to like suck her soul out. I feel like it was Drew Barrymore. I don't really know,
Okay.
but I'm not into it.
Okay.
I feel like if you have a cat, that is the like. By the way, I am allergic. And people are like, do you say you're allergic or you're allergic?
Yeah,
I'm allergic.
yeah.
If I touch my eyes when a cat's in the room, I'm fucked. It's a wrap. I gotta go. So I would, if I was this guy, if I was Jeff, I would say it's me or that stupid ass cat.
Okay,
I would take any dog. You bring a dog. I don't care. I don't care how big the dog is, how small the dog is. You can see, no cat.
So I have a lot of thoughts. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey.
Take it.
So first, do you know that like there's a line of thinking that your hatred of cats
No boy.
is latent misogyny?
Fuck.
Okay, and because it's like dogs are sort of painted as like the pet embodiment of male.
Okay.
So everything a dog does, where they're like stupid and loyal and whatever,
Yes.
is glorified, and cats
God.
are an embodiment of women.
Where did you fucking hear
I
that?
hear a lot of things. I listen to a lot of things. I read things.
Oh my
And cats are the embodiment of women.
Oh,
And that's why
God.
men villainize them, because they have like female traits, and men hate women.
You ever
right?
hear a woman who likes cats? They're like, this cat's just like a dog. It's not. Just get a dog.
Everybody thinks
Get
their
a
cat
dog.
is so friendly. It's super friendly.
It's not.
Right. So for that reason, I try to give cats.
Do you have any cats?
So we have 6 pets.
Yeah, I know.
I have 6 pets. 3 of them are cats.
Oh my.
3 of them are dogs. 0 of these pets were my idea. So
But when you started,
empathize with Jeff.
when you started reading this, as soon as he said it was a cat, you're like, ugh.
I hate. I try to keep an open mind.
All right, misogynist. Go ahead.
And I'll tell you what.
All right.
I don't necessarily. Right. It's kind of like. Do you remember the movie Men in Black,
Yeah.
where he's like Tommy Lee Jones says like a person is smart but people are dumb, right?
Sure.
So it's kind of the opposite. I'm fine with cats. I hate these 3 cats. Right.
Okay.
So these cats are assholes. They knock over water cups.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
Jeff's point, they do
Sure.
that all the time. They will like, if they get mad, they will piss on things
Ooh.
related to what they're mad about. And cat piss is like literally toxic.
Cat piss.
They're just horrible, horrible animals. Like it's too many animals. It was not my idea. Same idea to Jeff. Like a lot of bad choices. A lot of bad choices. Too many animals. Too many pets. But the cats are assholes. These 3 specific cats. I think if you have a cat, maybe that's fine. Some cats are kind of friendly.
Yeah. So,
One of the cats is kind of friendly. Some of them are assholes.
Okay.
But I empathize with Jeff, and I don't like cats. I just unequivocally, misogynist or not, I'm out on cats.
that's a take I can get behind, Tom, because I feel like suddenly, like Big Cat or somebody's trying to like make us feel bad about not liking them by saying it's misogynist.
Ooh.
If I was a woman and I was equated to a cat, I'd be very upset.
Wow.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
that's rude.
Yeah, maybe like maybe I hate men and I think cats are like men.
Exactly.
But then you're being misogynist too because the cats are smarter. So you're saying men are smarter.
I think they might be smart, but it's so funny. You
They're
said
definitely smart.
they talk about cat piss as being like the worst smell of all.
Dude, it's toxic. It's so bad. It's so bad. So I'll tell you, like the cats get mad. So I have a large dog,
Mhm.
my buddy Pinecone,
Pinecone,
and
yeah.
he's a 100-pound Bernedoodle. And he's a sweetheart, but he's the dumbest dog ever. And the cats hate him because he's just like a calamitous 100-pound. He runs around. He thinks he's gonna be friends with them, and they just want nothing to do
He's
with
probably
him.
really nice to them, right?
He would love them. He would love to play with them. But they like if they smell him on stuff, they will piss on that thing as like a fuck you to Pinecone
Cats
because they're
are terrible.
just assholes.
Oh my god! If I was a woman being equated to a cat, I would take offense to that based on their attitude.
There you go.
All right, so moving on. So this one's called "Be My Valentine." So this one comes from Emma on Gmail, and this was the Valentine's one I wanted to throw in, and I loved it for a lot of reasons. Right? So guys, I've been seeing this guy for a few months, and everything has been great. Lots of dates. He asks the right questions, is engaging, and is spontaneous in all the right ways. However, I think I have to end it with him. I have 2 kids and was taking them skiing in the middle of February. He said, that's okay. We can celebrate Valentine's Day when you get back. I asked him to repeat what he just said, thinking I misheard him, but no, he responded again. We can celebrate Valentine's Day when you get back. I am dating a guy who calls Valentine's Valentine's Day. Even writing this email, my computer is asking if I mean Valentine's Day. Needless to say, I got the ick, and neither Valentine's Day nor Valentine's Day were celebrated. Was I too hard on him? I can't be the only girl who would stop dating the guy who unironically calls it Valentine's Day. I can't be, right? Emily on Gmail. Emily, you are so right to get rid of this
Hard agree.
fucking guy.
Hard agree.
This guy is a knuckle
Total
dragger.
deal breaker. I'll tell you what, this is like a super pep. Some of my verbal pet peeves. People who misuse unique, right?
Yep.
So the thing is, it's unique. It's singular. It's not rare.
Mhm.
People use unique like rare all the time,
Yeah.
right? Like that's right. And this is along those lines. Like you can't.
It's like when somebody calls it all-timers or old-timers
Yes,
instead of Alzheimer's.
yeah.
Like, are you fucked? Do you have it?
That's
Do
a
you
bad-
have it?
Because the other thing too is like you've been corrected on that,
Yeah.
and you just fucking plowed through it.
Well, I remember there was a guy, he was a year older than me in high school, and I ran into him at a gas station maybe,
Mhm.
and it was after high school, so I was in college, and he was telling me about the girl he was dating in high school that I knew. And I was like, hey, how's it going with so-and-so? And he's like, oh, not good, man. Like, she broke up with me. I was like, oh, that sucks. And he's like, yeah, she did it on Valentine's Day. And I was like, what? And he's like, Valentine's Day last month? And I was like, oh, that's what he fucking thinks it's called. But you can't correct him. So I just was like, all right, I hope to never be that person. Maybe it's the same guy. I don't know.
It's kind of wild now too, because like you have to read so much, right? There was an era where like you didn't have to read as much.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like common, like obviously people probably read fewer books, but you didn't have to read things in text. But now you get a text, like everybody else is calling it Valentine's Day.
I did this thing because in the email, she says, like, even my computer knows is asking me if I'm right. I typed in my text Valentine's Day,
Right.
and it corrected it to Valentine's Day, which means
You're just pushing through. You think the phone's wrong.
Yeah. Either you've never used a text message before.
Or you think it's like a last name or the saint or something. Like,
And like the fact that he said it twice and wasn't like, oh, I know it's not that, but I'm just being witty. No, he sounds like a fucking idiot. Yeah. And if you brought him around your friends, there's probably a million other things that he does that are stupid that will by default make you look stupid. And Emily, you got to get rid of him. I think she did the right thing.
Yep.
Awesome. So Tom, we're going to get into the news for a second. And Tom, have you heard of the term called gray divorce?
I have not.
Okay, so what gray divorce is this new phenomenon that's happening as women get older and in their 50s, and women are actually getting more divorced in their 50s than ever before. Here's a little snippet.
This morning, we're looking at the growing trend of women divorcing later in life. Across the U.S., divorce rates are actually down, except among people older than 50. Divorce rates in that group have doubled and in some cases tripled since the 1990s. Many divorces are being initiated by women. Lisa Ling has more.
And by the way, shout out to Lisa Ling. Do you remember her from Channel 1 News?
Oh, yeah. That's
I love that Lisa Ling. By the way, she's still a smoke. And she's killing it
too.
Oh, Marie Menounos, that's right. But that was like we were doing Channel 1 like in the early 90s, and now she's like on CBS Sunday mornings talking about gray divorces. So yes, gray divorces is a new epidemic that's hitting women 50 and older, and they're basically looking at their life probably because of Instagram and TikTok because they're all on it, hearing that their husband who disagreed with them where to go to dinner is a misogynist, and their husband doesn't like cats. Doesn't like fucking cats, and is now a misogynist. But the reason they say is the growing apart, lack communication, empty nest syndrome, retirement stress, and sometimes abuse, which is bad, or infidelity. However, I feel like if you were going to get divorced because of infidelity, he probably isn't cheating on you in his 50s, so you probably dealt with it for a while. So I doubt it's that, but whatever. So the trend rate, divorce rates for those over 50 doubled between 1990 and 2015. It says they continue to rise, specifically with nearly 10% of all divorcing people 65 or older. Wow. I got to say, as somebody who's actively going through divorce in my 40s, it started right when I was 41, I think. As I mentioned earlier, I'm about to be 44, so this will end sometime around my 50th birthday if everything goes to plan. It's miserable. So why you would do it that later in life as opposed to just like finding some sort of happy medium, again, unless the abuse thing is accurate, it just seems like a monkey see, monkey do thing, right? Like you go get your hair done, and you run into Betty, and Betty's like, you're like, hey, Betty, what have you been? And she's like, oh, I get divorced. I'm 55. I'm living my best life. And Sally's like, fuck, I want to live my best life too. And then she goes home and does it. I think
there's like probably a lot of factors, but I would say like as somebody whose kids are nearing college, right? Like I think what you find is like, right, your kids are young, so you know this part, like your kids are an incredible time suck, right?
Oh yeah.
And they keep you incredibly busy.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's true about like being married with kids is like most of your conversations revolve around your kids in some way, shape, or form, right? It's your kids' sports or theater or their grades or right, like a vacation you're going to take with your kids. And then you get to this point, I think, where like and you're kind of each living, you're together, but like you're almost like fast forwarding through these years kind of.
Yeah.
And then your kids go away and all of that time that you had goes to zero. This is like the saddest thing. I think we might have mentioned this before, but it's like 95%. This is like going to make me cry, but like 95% of your time that you spend with your kids happens before 18 or something like that. Right. So now it goes from everything in your life being geared around this, that goes to zero. Right. Like literally like tonight, right? I saw your kids who are great and hilarious and they're being goofballs at bedtime, which my kids used to do all the time. And I had like nostalgia for the pain in the ass that it was to get my kids to bed.
Oh, really?
Right?
So one day,
like I was like literally right. I told you, I'm like, I'll go, you know, kind of tell them to go to bed. Cause it was like, I'm like, oh, I really miss having little kids. This was fun. You go from like, this is your whole world to now it's totally vacant and you're turn around and you're like, who the fuck are you? Like, cause you haven't had a non-kid related relationship with this person really in like 20 years.
Well, I saw this thing after we separated, but it was like, you know, if you really want to stay close with your spouse, like when you get home from work or they get home from work, don't engage the kids right away, right? Engage them and sort of make that connection, keep it real. I actually thought about that too. And like, I'm not saying that's definitely not why my thing went south, but we definitely didn't do that because everything in the life was about like keeping them alive for 24 hours and then moving to the next.
So I'll also say like, I think, so one, like some of those things are right. And you know, I try to do some of those things and it's fair. But also like those things, some like that and like, oh, you have to have like 4 date nights a week. Some of this stuff is like the people who are like, get up and do an ice bath and then like, you know, eat oats and then meditate for 45 minutes. It's like, okay, I got kids.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't do everything, right? Like you can't, I got a job, I got kids, I got to fit things in. You do have to balance, you have to try to figure it out. But it's like most people, you're going to have like a season of life where you're not really able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough.
So it is tough. But either way, I guess like, putting it like, okay, right now I'm probably right at the cusp of like when it's over, I'll have just enough time to rebuild and then sit on a deck and kind of reminisce about it. But if you get divorced in your 60s and that divorce takes 3 years or whatever, you have a ton of assets, you got to maybe child support's out of the way, so it doesn't matter. But like if you're married that long, like alimony becomes a thing forever because like once you're married over 10 years, it can be in Massachusetts anyway, it can be indefinite. It's like it just seems like daunting, and I do find it interesting though. And I'm not trying to be a cat person here, cat lover here, but it is interesting though with when it says that that not women are initiating 90% of them. So forget the abuse and infidelity stuff, right? Because that can happen to either side. But I do wonder with divorce rates if you knew that at the end of it you were just going to walk away with what you had, half of everything you've built together, and then walk away with what you had, and that support is no longer on the table, like at 55, 60. I wonder how many people would actually not do it. And the reason I ask that question is when you think about what alimony is, right? It's like everybody has like a different degree of alimony. Child support, I'll never argue with, but alimony is interesting because it's like, I'm not married to you anymore. That's the whole point of getting a divorce. So like the idea of me keeping you in a lifestyle that, quote, you're accustomed to, right? Especially if you're a 2-income family. It seems pretty ridiculous that like you don't want anything to do with me except my money. And that's like acceptable. To me, that's weird. Alimony, strictly.
Yeah. Well, again, right? Like I'm not going to give the female perspective, but I'll try to play devil's advocate. So I think the counter argument to that would be, right, again, that like the woman in a lot of these instances has given up career growth for, right, depends on the person obviously, but like to have the kid, right, and give birth and then take care of the kids or do stuff around the house. And like, right, I think like in terms of initiating divorce, like maybe I think there's probably a lot of instances where the woman is like more in tune to the fact that the two of them grew apart and the guy is just kind of like, like I'm going to keep plugging along.
I guess, but at the same time, if he's making the money, unless she was like, hey, you got to spend more time. I don't care about the money. Let's spend more time at home. And he's like, yeah, fuck you. I want to make a bunch of money. Like, I guess it goes both ways.
Yeah. But so like, I think like right, it's like, okay, if he's making money, but not connecting with her, they don't have like a meaningful relationship, he's unwilling to like engage on that level, then it's like, how much does she owe him to just like hang around?
Well, I guess like the difference is like if they were always working, two of them are working, right? If it was always that, obviously there's different circumstances, but But I guess like alimony is really just like it cut and dry. Like in theory, I would be entitled to alimony if she made more than me, which I wouldn't,
Right.
which I wouldn't want, mainly because I have a penis, but I wouldn't want it because I don't feel like I've like earned her bonuses, right? It's not like we had kids and I said, stay home with the kids and I'll take care of everything. One day I didn't want her anymore. It wasn't that at all.
Yeah.
Right. Or just in my unique situation. So I do feel like there needs to sort of be like, we got to get rid of that. If you're going to do that, just get rid of the broad brush strokes. Like be specific about certain things. Because, in today's age, dads have to do as much as moms. I know moms don't want to hear that, but they do. Like they have to show up. They have like that Nate Bargatze joke about like, oh, they called me and they wanted to know what bus my kid's on. And I said, I'm the dad. I love him. But I'm like, that fucking joke sucks because I fucking know the bus. I know the bus. I know the bus driver. So don't paint them all that way.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's everything is situation dependent, of course, right? But I do think that like by and large, right, if you took a survey of most of the country, you would say, right, women get paid less to do the same job.
Well, it's weird because they pick jobs like lady doctor or lady dentist, and that's why they get fucking
They should
less.
just be a dentist.
They should just be a dentist. Don't
Yeah,
be
that's
that.
a user error. That's not. Yeah. So
Well, I guess we'll see. But Tom,
people get it. People get it.
I think we need some levity here, so we're going to do this. We're going to do one of our favorite new bits, and we haven't done it in a while, so we're going to do it now.
Tom's in his 40s, stuck in his ways. Hates all the new stars, lost in the haze. Christopher Nolan, Papa Torres a joke. Toronto off just another woeful. Tom yells at clouds, shaking his fist. Screaming, LeBron's not the GOAT on my list. Michael Jordan's the king, that's his creed. While the world moves on, Tom plants his seed.
Abort.
What?
This is a terrible idea. I'm not. Abort. Terrible idea. Terrible idea.
All right, Tom yells at clouds. Tom, you get 3 minutes. Why don't you yell at some clouds?
All right, this is, I don't know if this will take 3 minutes, but this is perhaps the most on brand, get off my lawn, Tom yells at clouds to date.
Take it.
I'm going to tell you, this is a thing that's true. And everybody listening to this, every single person listening to this is going to nod their head and be like, this is true, right? Because they understand this on some deep, visceral, emotional level. I don't know if it's a pandemic. I don't know if it's like I'm getting old. I don't know if it's like, Obama, Biden, Trump. I don't know why.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But right now, I'm telling you, everything is worse and it's all more expensive.
Yeah, dude.
Literally everything is worse and it's all more expensive. Do you want to go to a restaurant? Great.
Let's go.
You should go to a restaurant.
Let's go.
The food's going to be fine to bad.
Okay.
And it's going to cost 9 times as much as it did like an hour and a half ago.
I know.
Everything is worse, but it's all more expensive. Do you want to get on a plane?
Yeah, let's go.
There's a 0% chance that the plane will depart at the time that you've scheduled the fucking plane for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no way.
I had an
Absolutely
8-hour delay in San Francisco last week.
If you schedule a plane for 6 months from now, they're going to change the time 1,000 fucking times on you.
Yeah.
And they're just going to move it up and down. Do you want to take your kids to Disney World?
I do.
That's exciting. It's going to cost you 74,000 times more than it used to. And you're going to lose a day because your flight's going to get rescheduled and you're going to lose like a 4-figure park fee to go to fucking Disney World and see Goofy and like run around. Do you need groceries? Do you eat food?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well, I have good news for you. The regular grocery store that you go to costs as much as Whole Foods did like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Right? Like you're going to pay like $1 zillion. Do you want to take your kids to a thing where there are customer service people?
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to be teenagers and they're going to suck. And one of two things is going to be true. They will either be competent or they will be personable or they will be neither.
Yeah.
And do you know why?
Why?
Because they live in a reality where everything is worse and it's all more expensive too. So they just think like, what the fuck do I care? AI is going to take this job anyway. I don't give a shit.
That's very true. And they're probably TikToking you. They're like
That's
videoing
true.
you.
They're on
like,
their phones.
Like, look at this Zoomer, and they're going to look at
Because
your
attention
reaction.
spans are worse, but
Yeah.
they're also more expensive.
Yeah.
Everything is worse and it's all more expensive.
Tom, that was a very concise rant. That was 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow, was it?
Yeah, you
That
feel good.
It didn't feel that long.
You feel really, that feels really good.
Good.
Well, I'm glad we get that out of the way.
Yep.
We'll keep that going. So let's move on to segment 2. which is Tom, where the fuck have we been? So we talked about the fact that we haven't been we haven't done the podcast for 2 months, which is widely known. But in the meantime, we get these emails, we get these voicemails, but we have some theories about where we've been, and we heard from one of our friends that we haven't heard from in a long time. So let's take this.
We need a subreddit. We should have a subreddit where people
should.
are like talking about where we are.
Well, this person actually put me on like
get
two
Toronto
different.
Rob on that. Toronto Rob, start a subreddit and start like some theories.
Well, Toronto Rob may know who this person is. So we're going to start with our first voicemail from Gmail, who came out of the woodwork.
Really?
Yeah. So he left this too. So here's the first one. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Tom and Bobby bitch tits. It's been a slow winter. I've had nothing better to do since the last time your mom was in town. So I decided to catch up with some gossip from Virginsville, aka Divorce of Friends. I gotta say, with the exception of Tom's rants about Christopher Nolan and Christmas lights, listening to you two is like a trip to the dentist. But instead of Novocaine and drills, they're using Colt 45 and a razor blade dildo. And not the Prisco kind either.
Wow.
I will admit that jingle was pretty damn catchy.
That's true.
But not the reason why I'm calling in today. Here's some advice from an old friend. How about giving up podcasting until you can see your tiny micro dick without lifting up your stomach, you fat fuck? You probably got a better shot at being a plus-size model on OnlyFans. Except you won't, because you're a loser. And a bitch. Tom, you deserve a hell of a lot better.
Wow.
Bobby, looking forward to you fucking right off.
Okay.
Until then, A on Gmail. Out.
Piece of shit.
This guy hates you. Is he part of one of these stories where you like have some shenanigans with some woman and like some poor guy gets like fired from his job? Is that what happened? Like, why does this guy hate you so much?
It's possible I slept with his girlfriend.
Yeah,
but
probably.
So I get that, and I'll make this about me. Yeah. So my non-drinking, going on a diet, I lost like 15 to 20 pounds in the last couple of months.
Nice job.
And he said that, and I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw up a shirtless selfie on Instagram. And
I thought you were going to do the podcast shirtless.
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do that. I did this vulnerable thing where I put it up, and it was like, yeah, we're coming back strong. And I waited to see the comments, because I was like, maybe
some shit for that.
Yeah, I get a lot of fucking shit for that. Some of them were, I get some eyeball emojis. That was from Dave and my friend Jay Papa. I get an eggplant from Kevin. My favorite comment came from Caitlin in New York. My friend Caitlin, she wrote, "Are you trying to drive people away?" So I was like, all right, we're not going to do that again. But I wondered, did A from Gmail see this post? Right? Let's find out. Okay.
Well, hey there, Bobby, you sack of shit. Tom, hope you're doing well. See, you got my last message. I just saw your story on Instagram. By the looks of it, you decided to take my advice and give OnlyFans a shot. Good for you. Maybe we are becoming friends. No, fuck that. I'm not impressed. Your AI-generated photo proves nothing more to me than I'm deeper into your head than you were in Andy from Somerville's ass cheeks. You're completely fucked, you cuck. Tom, keep up the good work. A on Gmail, out.
So...
he's got a good idea. We should do like a Patreon with the shirtless pics.
We should. We should do that. I will tell you, after the litany of shit that I got as a result of it, I will never do that again. But it does make me wonder. We have to know who A on Gmail is, because I guess we do have a public account, but I can see everybody who saw that post. So after he sent that email or the voicemail, which came about a day later, I was able to go through and I can account for everybody who saw it. So I don't know who this person is. My first guess was somebody like Toronto Rob, who's just kind of giving us the business, but I don't know.
Too witty for Toronto Rob.
Too witty for Toronto Rob. So I have to kind of figure out who A from Gmail is. So if you have any suggestions, we'll
Can I tell you who would figure it out in like 5 seconds?
Who?
A subreddit.
A subreddit, yeah.
People on subreddits love that shit.
We should figure out who it is.
They did the marathon bomb. They were kind of wrong about that, but
what did they say it was?
Well, that was like at the Boston marathon bombing.
Yeah.
That was one of the first incidents where people were like trying to crowdsource detective, and they picked like the wrong person, and they gave all their information. And it was not
the bad doxing
or whatever.
So that's sort of where we were, but the other part of where I was is a little bit different. So Tom, you actually brought up something really interesting. The last time you were like, hey, when we do, we should have a theme. We have a theme for Tom Yells at Clouds. We have a theme for Tom's Mystery Game of Desire. We have a theme for the show. We should get a Bobby story time.
Yes.
So I crowdsourced that one.
I love it.
And this one's from the Mitten Kids.
Ooh.
You ready?
Yep.
So this one's called Storytime with Bobby, and we're going to do that one now.
Tune my guitar to a broken heart's key. Pull up a stool and take a long look at me. I wore my best shirt with a mustard stain, trying to dance in a hurricane. Met a lady named Clara at the 5 and Dime. I checked my watch and I lost my mind. I told her she looked like a dream I once had. Then I realized the dream was actually quite bad. Oh, it's a story time. Bobby Vito again. Where the finish
good.
line
Really
is
good.
before I begin. I shave carpet and ask you the time. Searching for a story, no reason, no rhyme. If I am losing, then I am losing with a smirk. I guess Vito might be jerk.
So the Mitten Kids came up with that. I loved it.
Incredible. It's
Incredible.
like, yeah, very folksy singer-songwriter vibe, just like you.
Very much.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. So
Love
we're gonna roll with that for a little while. So Tom, let's talk about where I've been. Now I can't necessarily get into everything where I've been, right? Because I feel like it's probably going to get me in a little bit of trouble.
Agree.
But let's say it's this guy I know.
Well, not me personally, but a guy I know. Him and her got it on. Whoa! No, they didn't.
So this guy I know, Tom. So let's just say he's had a lot of time with his kids. And the story goes that basically starting around the middle of September, the incidents with his ex-wife start a little small. She doesn't bring the kids over a couple days, but that goes away. She doesn't do anything kind of crazy until, let's say, the middle of November. And then in December, like somebody hits the switch and the floodgates open. And let's just say this guy, that he gets, there's 30 days in a month, 31 days, depending on what it is, he gets half of them, right?
Okay.
But he doesn't get half where it's like my day, your day, my day, your day. It's broken up into chunks, like 2 for me, 2 for you, 3 for me.
Sure.
What?
Pretty standard.
Pretty standard shit, right? So let's just say after the couple flub ups in September and the one in November, in December, when nothing is happening as a result of this guy, this poor son of a bitch, his ex is like, well, I'm just not going to bring one of the kids because what are they going to do about it, right? So he's going through it. It happens in January, but he finally gets in front of a judge who gives a fuck, okay? So my buddy stands in front of the judge. Wouldn't you know, the person that he's up against, they don't even show up. And the judge is finally like, all right, this is a problem. They have lost custody now, Tom, for 30 days.
Okay.
They take these kids away for 30 days. So what happens is from the middle of January until the middle of February, this guy, my buddy, he's a great guy, he has 2 kids with him all the time. One of them doesn't go to school, so he's literally there the whole time. Has to get his parents to come over and help and do stuff. But you know what he found out, Tom?
What's that?
You know what he found out in this time? That he absolutely loves his kids. He did not know that before, but he went from seeing them every day, all day, permanently, to this 50-50, 2 days on, 2 days off, whatever.
Yep.
And he kind of forgot what it was like to be on all the time.
Right.
But that rhythm came back so fast.
Okay.
So the first couple weeks, pulling his hair out, how are we going to get through these weekends, how are we going to get through these days? And then it just started to click.
Like a Hallmark movie.
Like a Hallmark movie. There was a montage. There was a Rocky style montage. He's having a really, really good time.
Frenchman whose dad owns a champagne farm or whatever.
Yeah. And ultimately, a bad thing, because this guy, my buddy, he never wanted the kids to be taken away from the mom that long, but he had an amazing time. He had an amazing time. And now when he doesn't have them, he misses them even more because he did have that time. And I think it's really easy, as he's telling me the story, I can relate. And I think it's really easy to forget that prior to the separation, you did see them every day. It was this thing that you get to see every day. And then you sort of get used to the schedule that you have where it's 2 on, 3 off, 2 on, whatever it happens to be. But when you ever see the movie The Abyss, Tom?
I don't think so.
It was James Cameron.
It was Cameron.
So there's a scene where I think it's like Ed Harris, they're going to put him into like the suit to go into the abyss. And it's like liquid air. So they put it on. First, he thinks he's drowning, but they're like, "Don't worry, your body will remember."
Yeah,
right? Because it's like that's what you had in your mom's belly.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you what, that's exactly what it was like. Because after the first couple weeks of a week and a half, it was just like nothing ever happened, and we're ready to go.
So I think of like, so this is gonna get us canceled too. A lot of cancellations here. We did like doing ethnic voices. We got your
Dr. Tom.
Cats. We got a lot going on. But so Louis C.K. He did like that comedians in cars getting coffee thing with Seinfeld, and he said a thing that sticks with me. He has like a lot of I think like insightful, interesting things that he says about kids. He's got some other issues, but but about like raising kids. And this is a thing that I think about a lot. he was like telling Seinfeld the story of how he was like, my daughter is at this school and it's a real pain in the ass in the morning to get her to the school. I have to take my other daughter to this school and then go over here and do this. And it's really a pain every morning. And I'm like fighting with everybody every morning to do it. He's like, and the other day I stopped and I just looked at her and I said, you know, what's crazy about this is someday, as shitty as this is, we're going to look back at this and miss it.
Yeah.
And I try to think about, right? I try to think about that. And there's like all the like corny things of like, right? Like again, right? Like you spend 95% of your time and like, you know, when you're 80, you would give anything to drop back into this moment, no matter how stressed and annoyed you are, right? I try to think about that a lot, but that's true, right? It's like these things that are, like I said, getting your kids to bed used to be like so difficult. I actually told your kids, like I used to sit in the room with my kids, right? Like sit on the floor to make sure they didn't get out of the bed. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, and like things like that. It's like at the time you're just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I got work tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, I miss it. Right? Like I really miss it.
And I can see where that would happen too. Cause the weird thing is obviously, you know, that my buddy went through that, not me necessarily, but it took some time, you know, hearing the story from him. And that's why we weren't podcasting for a while. We had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I can see for the first time, honestly, I can see that how my divorce has changed me, I would say, for the first time. Because I was always trying to go through the days as if like, this is just happening over there. And if I just keep focused on what's moving forward, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
I think this story kind of was the first time I put my own divorce in perspective and really noticed how, because of what my friend went through, you know, I could relate to the fact that like I wasn't actually doing anything for myself as a result of any of this stuff. And I didn't notice that before because I think I was, you know, living vicariously through him, trying to compartmentalize or just, you know, again, head down. Eventually you get through this and not really taking the opportunity to kind of enjoy the day when it happens.
Yeah.
And that was a really great learning experience. So that's where I've been, everybody, hanging out with my friend, hearing these stories and living through him. But we're going to hear a message from our sponsor right now, Prisco Dildos. They are back. And once we're done, we're going to play another game. It's Tom's Mystery Game of Desire, but a new game.
Time.
So let's do this one. Prisco Dildos.
Winter winds blow through the town. Prisco's lights are shining down. From the harbor to the hills, we've got what your heart fulfills. Oh, Prisco Dildos, hear the call. Big or small, we've got it all. New England's favorite secret spot. Visit Prisco Dildos any dot.
I got to tell you, Tom, I fucking love the Prisco Dildo spot, guys.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's so fucking good. Check out Prisco Dildos, PriscoDildosNE.com. That website is live and taking your order now. But Tom, we're going to play a game. We're going to play Tom's Mystery Game of Desire. That was a very popular game the last time. And I will tell you, Tom, it's not gay sex.
Okay.
There's no dildo talk.
Disappointing.
But what we're going to do, so we'll play the theme song because everybody loves it. And what we're going to do is I have some commercials. Now, these commercials are some of them old, some of them new. But the point of the commercials is that I don't know what the fucking commercial is for until almost the end. So you're going to guess what the commercial is for.
Okay.
Okay. So before we do that, as always, let's do the theme song to Tom's Mystery Game of Desire.
Tom walks in with a devil's grin, a bottle of Jack and a twisted spin. Gay porn's on, the stakes are high, but no one knows what's lurking nigh. Oh, Tom's Mystery Game of Desire. Will it burn slow or ignite like fire? Straight or gay, what will he say? He sucked that dick, he ate that ass. Who cares? Let's hear that laugh.
Fuck yeah, Tom's Mystery Game of Desire.
Makes me feel like I'm being misunderstood in the 90s.
I know.
That's
know.
a good one.
Our listeners are the best.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love
So
it.
as Tom, as I mentioned, so these are going to be commercials. And some of them are going to have to pause right before sort of like the punchline, but you're going to notice we're going to get in like most of them are about a minute and we're going to get like 30 or 40 seconds before you
Can
fucking.
I tell you?
Yeah.
So 2 things. One, I almost asked like, oh, should I guess the brand or the product? And then I remembered how bad I am at these games. And I'm just like,
The products.
you will be lucky to get like the category, you asshole.
I've only heard one of them before.
Yeah.
So I think you'll get that one. That's somewhere in the middle. All right. So I think we have 2, 4, 6, 7.
Ooh.
So let's see how you get out of 7.
7.
Ready?
Yeah.
So this is the first one.
I prefer small ones, not like micro ones.
This one's going to be
small
tough.
ones.
This one's going to be tough.
I'm no size queen. I like them small.
The big ones always make me feel like I have to pee.
I made fun of my buddy for having a small one, but then he let me hold it, and now I low-key want a small one too.
I've never had one at all, but if I did, it would be a small one.
When I'm drunk, I want a big one, but only when I'm drunk.
My husband's really into big ones. It kind of weirds me out. So I just sit in a chair and watch him and his buddies just go to town. Meanwhile, I'm just over here, enjoying a small one.
Now we have small ones. But don't worry, we still have big ones.
Okay, so they actually don't say it in that commercial. You can just see the image. So what is that for, Tom? What do you think that one's for?
Penises.
It was penises. No, it was Liquid Death. They have now small cans, so they don't just have the tall boys. They have little ones.
I was thinking of guesses. My serious guesses would have been like Bud Light or like some kind of food, but
okay.
Yeah.
So we got 0 for 1. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I get to the timer because I had to pause this one. In fact, let me just make sure it's on pause. And it is.
Harvey, want anything special for your birthday?
Just a decent cup of coffee.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Honey, your coffee's undrinkable.
This guy's
Pretty
awesome.
hard.
Well, so's your coffee. You know, the girls down at the office make better coffee on their hot plates. Well, see you later.
All right. So I'm going to pause it right there. What do you think this is for?
I bet that guy hates cats. First of all,
He fucking hates
He
cats.
hates cats.
He hates cats. I like him already. You know it's for coffee. What kind of coffee is it for?
Like Folgers. I don't know.
Didn't
It's
even
Folgers.
kiss me goodbye. You know, if I could just make a decent cup of coffee, I could relax. So relax. Why don't you try instant Folgers? Tastes good as fresh
There you go.
purr.
You did
Good
great.
as fresh purr. I'll surprise Harvey for his birthday
Listen, I don't know.
tonight.
I know I'm supposed to be the lib on this podcast,
Hey,
but like
great coffee.
a little lazy doing the instant Folgers. Right?
Well, that's why he smacks her at the end of the commercial. It's like, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't have to play more of that one. All right, so 1 for 2. Okay, so this is a commercial that was, I think, in the 70s, and it actually starred Jeff Bridges and Denzel Washington in the commercial.
Whoa.
Yeah, true story.
Incredible.
True story. I can show you
Love
these
it.
commercials afterwards. You ready?
Yes.
It's all up to you, and you're gonna do it, and everyone is with you all the way.
The spotlight's on you, and we'll all be behind you. We know today is gonna be your day.
Man, I'm leaving. No, listen, I got a chance to start
Jeff
my
Bridges.
own shop, and if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it. So, thank you for everything.
Give that man.
All right, it is for what? He's quitting his job. He's going to tell his foreman to go shove it, and he's about to celebrate with
Heineken.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a blue ribbon. Give that man a blue
Just a beer.
Blue ribbon.
Just
Pabst Blue Ribbon, baby.
Yeah.
There you go. So it's
That's
Pabst
cocky.
Blue Ribbon. So good
that.
job.
I
Good
got
job.
that one right. And I got cocky.
You were.
Should've just
I'll
said-
give you half a point for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So this one I think you'll probably know. Okay, because this one's pretty famous.
Yeah.
You son of a biscuit-eating bulldog!
What the French, Toast?
You think I wouldn't find out about your little doo-doo head cootie queen?
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lint licker?
Pickle, you cunt! Overreacting. No, Bill, overreacting was when I put your convertible into a wood chipper.
Stinky McStink face!
You Hoboken.
Okay. So what is that one for?
I don't know. Eggos.
That one is very famous. I thought you would have got that one. Ready?
Yeah, never seen that one. Yeah.
Fabulous. New Orbit Raspberry Mint cleans another dirty mouth.
Orbit Scum.
For a good clean feeling,
Stupid.
no matter what.
Never seen it. Stupid. Next.
You fucking loser. All right, so this one has Mac from It's Always Sunny. So this one's from the
nice.
80s.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna break up with Billy and go out with you, but you have to tell him.
But he's your boyfriend.
He's your best friend.
Look, he just went out for a soda. We're gonna have to figure this out before he gets back.
All right, if he comes back with a Pepsi, you tell him. If he comes back with a Coke, I'll do it.
Okay, so what is this for? He came back with what?
So it's an alternative, like a tab.
Is that your final
That's
answer?
my final answer.
Let's hear it.
Yoo-hoo chocolate drink? Oh, Billy, you're the only one for me.
It was a
I thought it was gonna be a soda. Yeah,
It was a Yoo-Hoo.
that makes sense.
So I don't know anybody who would drink a Yoo-Hoo over a soda. I mean, I know a guy who wouldn't drink soda since 2002 because he's trying to
Yeah, you don't drink
cram
soda?
it up his
Oh.
ex-girlfriend's
I like a
ass.
Yoo-hoo. I like a nice Yoo-hoo.
I don't know if I like the Yoo-Hoo. I don't trust that you don't refrigerate.
Glass bottle. Everything's better in a glass bottle.
I don't disagree with that one. All right, so this one is very sexist, so it's going to be right up your alley. Okay. Ready?
How dare you? Yeah.
When you can't be with him, being his mind sticker.
When you can't be with him, be in his mind. Be a mind sticker with a shape he can't forget.
Don't you want to have a good shape? He wants you with a good shape.
This commercial's amazing, by the way.
Like a bra, like
Now, he wants you in a good shape, so you better fucking stay sexy for him, Tom. What is it?
yeah.
You gotta
like,
stay sexy.
I'll say Victoria's Secret. but-
It is Tab Cola.
Tab can help you stay in his mind.
Wow, it's early.
It's sugar-free and tastes
Fucking
better than any
wild,
Diet
Tab.
Cola.
Hey, by the way,
Because the
have you ever had a
Coca-Cola
Tab?
Company wouldn't
Yeah,
have it
I
any
want to.
other
I
way.
want to. I think I have. I feel like I have. Maybe.
My aunts used to drink Tab like on the regular in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was made by Coke. It's basically the original Diet Coke.
Right.
It's fucking disgusting. It's not as bad as Moxie. You ever had
Yeah,
Moxie?
Moxie's disgusting.
Moxie's like what Ted Williams would
gasoline.
drink before he
Yeah.
beat his kids and his wife. But Tab is what you
Allegedly.
stay.
Right.
Yeah, allegedly. Alaska's frozen head.
Dan Shaughnessy's never going to write into the podcast again if we shit on Ted Williams.
That's very true. But Tab is what you wear when you want to be a figure reminder. You want him to think about your figure all the time.
That is incredible. That's a wild.
Well, the
connection.
70s were awesome, Tom, and that's really what it comes down to. Okay, so here's the last one. I think you get a point and a half so far. So here's the last one that we have, and I think you'll like it. You ready?
This Halloween, be the most popular house on the block. While the other neighbors are passing out boring old chocolate bars, dull candies, and bland treats, why don't you give the...
It's a Halloween commercial. Why don't you give the kids what they want? It's not Reese's, it's not Snickers, it's not York, which is fucking disgusting. What do you give the kids, Tom?
Pencils, pretzels.
Let's find out what you give them, Tom.
Okay.
Kids what they really want? The exciting and smooth taste of Newport menthol cigarettes. The most refreshing smoke of all. Newport menthol cigarettes. Alive with pleasure.
Tom, that was my favorite one.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em. So that was Tom's Mystery Game of Desire. He gets 1.5 points out
I
of
think that's
7.
my high score. Do you think that when we start the subreddit, people will refer to me as like this period of the podcast as CPAP Tom because I was so much sharper?
Yeah.
At the CPAP.
I think so. They are going to question your guessing abilities, but we've come a long way from he sucked that dick or he fucked him right in the ass. But they'll remember because of the theme song.
I should have gone with that for more of these. Yeah.
What you would have been close with the Newports.
I went closer on a couple of them actually.
You know what? For the Newports, it's like I don't know. It's like a Prisco dildo. All right. Well, let's see how long have we done this. This is 1 hour and 20, which is a great comeback episode. Do you want to call it a comeback?
I wouldn't call it a comeback.
Yeah, we've been doing it for years. Okay, so let's do our close, our plugs, and our thank you. So, Tom, as always, what do you got?
So Bernthal. So we've been away for a long time. So Bernthal had a new Netflix show. Did you see the Netflix show?
I didn't see it, but I know what it is. His and Hers or something?
Yeah, His and Hers. It was very Bernthal-y. The show itself wasn't the best. I thought it was fine. It was just kind of fine. But he was great. He was just full Bernthal. He was great.
I love that.
He's just, and Yeah. So, and my kid, but this was a controversial thing in the Demers household. My kid said to me, "Hey, you know what movie looks good? The stupid Nolan movie."
Which the Odyssey?
Yeah, the Odyssey.
Yuck.
And you know what they said? I said, "That's garbage. Christopher Nolan is like a loser." And they said to me, "It's got that guy you like."
Oh, that's sweet.
And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know they knew that I liked Berthold."
Do you think they listen to the podcast?
Oh God, I hope not.
I hope there's a couple snippets they'd be okay with, but you're right. I think the butthole pleasure stuff is probably not where they want to be.
Yeah, they would come on. Maybe we'll have them on.
I would love to have them on. I'd love to have them on. So my thank yous in my plugs. I want to thank everybody here listening. I don't know how many listeners we kept during the hiatus, but thank you all for sticking it out with us.
Yeah.
It was a trying time for my buddy, but we made it through. And as always, I'd like to thank Dean Corsi for this absolute fire theme song. You can find Dean Corsi on Instagram at Dean Corsi Music. You can email Tom and I at divorcewithfriends@gmail.com, Twitter DivorceWFPod, Instagram at DivorcedWithFriends. As always, Podbean will distribute this to all your favorite locations: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, iHeart. Like, subscribe, smash, review. Fuck, I don't give a shit. We'll see you in 2 weeks, I promise. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye, Bear.